You're sitting down with 3 friends. The 4 of you are looking at each other going, what games should we play? Here are some 5 recommendations for 4-player games. We're going to start off with Magic Maze, which is a sort of limited communication game. Your 4 characters, well, you're all playing together, but there's 4 characters you need to get around a sort of shopping center to get items and then escape as you're building this shopping center. The key is you can't talk, and you have someone who controls up, down, left, and right, different people and different actions, and you're sort of being like, come on. You're trying to get them to move and trying to think of, it's a really fun game where you're trying to like, why can't you see that you need to move that character with your ability? Oh, you actually wanted me to go here? Whoops. And so there's a sort of, it's limited communication, but it's a lot of fun. Dune Imperium is one of those games that sort of combines a number of mechanisms that will just work so well together. It's part deck building, part worker placement, as you're sort of building your deck of cards, but they can be used to sort of buy more cards, get you more points, but your cards also dictate where you can place your workers. So there's that sort of duality of how do I build my deck, or which one am I going to focus on, which makes it really tight decision space sometimes, where you go, this is a good card that gets me points, or I can buy better cards with it, but I can't use it to put my piece on the board, which is for other resources. So sometimes you draw a card, you're like, oh, I can't do anything with this hand, but it's a good sort of frustration, and I really enjoy it. Ticket to Ride London is the shorter and sort of more condensed version of Ticket to Ride. Rather than all of Europe or all of America, it's just the city of London. It plays 2 to 4 rather than 2 to 5, and the playtime is much shorter, which I found is much better for new players. You can really get them involved. And I'm much more likely to want to play a second game of Ticket to Ride London as opposed to Ticket to Ride. Root is a war game disguised with the fact that you're playing as different animal factions. It is a 4-player asymmetric game where each faction plays differently and wins differently. It can be quite a complicated game to start off with, but it's a lot of fun trying to learn the different factions to see how they play and how they interact with each other. The Quacks of Quedlinburg is a really fun push your luck game and bag building game where you're making a potion and you're trying to see how far you can go by taking chips out of a bag before it explodes. And as you go, the further you get without exploding, you get the more points and more currency you get to buy more chips, which stop you from exploding or do interesting and fun things. It's a really fun game, and the best part about it is you're all playing at the same time, so there's very little downtime. Those are the games I recommend for 4 players.